Welcome back, grade 6s. Grade 5s, if you want to watch this, feel free to. There's some really important stuff at the end of this video too. So our topic today is who or whom. And honestly, this is something that even adults really struggle with, but it's a small thing that makes a big difference in your speech, and there is a correct way in every sentence. A few things are a little bit of style choices, but most of the time there's a really clear choice whether who is the right answer or whom is the right answer. So what's the difference, first of all, between the two of them? Well, who is a subject pronoun, meaning it's the subject of a verb, and whom is the object pronoun. Remember, we said that object pronoun means that it comes after a verb, it's receiving the action of a verb, and we said that's a little bit tough to see, so it will become again clearer as we look at a couple of different examples. Let's take a look at some sample sentences and start deciding whether we need to use our subject pronoun in them or our object pronoun. Here's our first sentence. Blank is that man. Now, there are a couple things I need to look at in this sentence. First of all, am I looking to fill in a subject here, or is this going to be an object? Second thing, notice what type of verb I have here. What type of verb is this? It's a linking verb, and that means that I need to choose a subject pronoun here. One other thing that I can look at is, does this sentence already have a subject, or am I filling in the subject here? So here are my two options, who or whom. Which one makes the most sense here? We already said that is means that I need a subject pronoun. So if I say, who is that man? That's my correct answer. Now, honestly, choosing who can sometimes be the harder option. Ruling out whom is often easier. And here's an example of let's take a look at some examples and see when we need to use whom, and it will become more clear. So blank did the nurse help. Now, in my sentence, I no longer have a helping or linking verb here, or linking verb. I do have a helping verb. If I think about what my verb is, the verb is help, and I have a helping verb of did. So main or action verb help, did is helping me understand that it's in the past tense, right? Now, who's the subject of did help? Who helped? The nurse helped. So I already have a subject in my sentence. If I already have a subject, can I use a subject pronoun? Nope, I need to use my object pronoun. Whom did the nurse help? Now, who and whom is maybe a topic that's not familiar enough to say do what sounds right, so giving that advice isn't all that helpful. Here's an example to look at how, to understand how I'm choosing the right option here. So if I have my sentence, whom did the nurse help? And we said that the nurse is actually my subject. Let me flip it around here so that it's in front of my verb. The nurse did help, and I can clearly see that I have a subject already in front of my verb and therefore need to choose the pronoun whom. Now, the nurse did help whom would technically be correct, but that's not how we phrase things because we usually start with our question word of who or whom. So I would say, whom did the nurse help? Here's another example sentence. To blank did the doctor speak. Now, to who did the doctor speak, or to whom did the doctor speak? What one is the correct one? Once again, what's my verb? Speak is my main verb, and again, I have a helping verb of did showing me that it's happening in the past tense. So who spoke? The doctor is the one that spoke. So the doctor is my subject of the verb. And I could once again rearrange the order, but I already know if I have a subject in my sentence, I can't use my subject pronoun. So I'm going to choose my object pronoun of whom and say, to whom did the doctor speak? Remember what part of speech this is? We haven't talked about it yet, but we've mentioned it in another video. This is a preposition. If I have a preposition of any kind in front of the word who or whom, I'm going to choose whom every time. So to whom did the doctor speak? From whom, of whom, about whom. Anytime I've got a preposition, it's going to be whom. One thing to kind of think about as you're practicing who and whom is that it's not going to be easy as you first do it, and you're going to need to stop and think and then choose the right one when you're writing. Obviously, we want to get to the point where we're using the right one when we're talking, and that's much harder. But choosing the right one when we're writing is going to be easier, and it will become second nature so that you end up using the right one when you're talking, and of course that will help you sound more educated. One more topic now that is related to pronouns, and it's not necessarily specific to who and whom, but it's just a really good review for us in what pronoun we're choosing in different situations. I have two sample sentences here. My first sample sentence, Carol and me or I are going to the play on Sunday. Do I need to choose me or do I need to choose I? Well, there are a couple different ways I can go about this. I might think to myself, what's the verb of my sentence? Are going. That's my verb. Going, main verb, are, helping verb. So if I have a pronoun in front of here, I need to choose my subject pronouns. What's my subject pronoun? It would be I. There is, however, a much easier way to choose the correct option, and that's to get rid of whatever else is the person, the and the person in the sentence. Usually it's person and decide like this. Would I say me is going to the play on Sunday, or I am going, I said me is, but me am going to the play, or I am going to the play? Of course I would choose I. So when I add back in the Carol and, I still say Carol and I are going to the play on Sunday. Now, that one's pretty easy, and maybe you've been told if you have another person, you always say and I. But that's actually overcorrecting, and that's not the correct answer in some situations. This is one that actually drives my dad bonkers. And it's funny because it's just something that he notices all the time, and he's pointed it out to me to the point that I notice it now whenever people say it and it's not correct. So here's another sample sentence. The teacher spoke with Carol and me or I. I have even the same phrase here to show you the difference here. Now, the teacher spoke with Carol and me, or the teacher spoke with Carol and I. Which one's correct? Well, once again, I can go through the actual way of looking at finding my verb. So my verb would be spoke. And who is speaking? The teacher. So the teacher is the subject. That means I need to use my object pronoun here, and me or I, my object pronoun is me. But once again, I can figure out the right answer just by getting rid of the other person in the sentence. And would I say the teacher spoke with me or the teacher spoke with I? Well, I would definitely say the teacher spoke with me every time. So even when I add back in Carol and, I'm going to say the teacher spoke with me and not the teacher spoke with Carol and I. This is a situation where I do not say Carol and I. Carol and me is the correct choice. And once again, getting rid of the other person in the sentence is the easiest way to see why that is. Okay? When in doubt, remove the other person and it will give you the correct answer every time. Good luck on your grammar work grade 6s, and ask if you've got any questions.